Living in a world with no floor and four skies, I wasted more time exploring occupied space in your mind, but I'm an expert novice on a professional flesh conquest, strapped in like an irrational passenger who's liable to crash and swerve with the nerve to describe my life as a modern-day massacre, demanding to know what your contemporary passions are, the marble rook in the corner, not acting hard. Fresh off a 30-year sabbatical where I was in battle mode against religious radicals, I turned a blind eye towards looking for signs. Get close enough, I might realign your facade. Fortified, mortified from the outside in. Stand still and watch everything struggle to swim in the air, ocean, the white magician in all black, tapping at the cracks in your thermostat. Space-age vibrations to chemical castrations replenish the saturation of the community commodity, human oddity, spreading hatred calmly through my corrupt policies. I move with the freedom of a wax statue, melt my circular logic till I desert art projects. This inert object serves as a perverse prospect, dreading what's acknowledged, resentful and impartial to harmful particles, barter with life's obstacles till I have my tonsils pulled by the night receiver, camouflage blonde, shadow person in a rhyme marathon, trying to start a fire from a dry pile of snow, in hopes of finding that certain smile that I used to know. My descendants dissolve as weather revolves, no going to therapy qualms, and now my pleasure is gone. I became unbecoming, took a wild swing at being productive. Reality with a side dose of double vision left me with arthritic conditions. Each letter was selected and drafted, eclectically crafted and magnetically fastest. The clarity she gave came in short and subtle waves. No way I could escape from a growing distaste. Living in a safe place with non-specific risks evicted, drifting like Titanic victims. The path is narrow, but I never stress it. Stripped down to an animal in its barest essence. Fountain of youth quietly sliding through my veins. The balance of society delicately hangs. Strange how I'm now pen pals with devils who constantly instruct me to cover the goddess's left breast with rose petals, prematurely proposed riddles. So now I'm the spider in the ant farm with battle hand scars, traveling the axis between apartments and bars, graphs and charts, bizarre and charred down the United States landmarks. So lost they speak with no source, known to show discretion over graduated force. Naturally all my lies are debunked, conspiracy theories fly but never stuck. Obsessed for what? Combat lifesaver with an instrumental attention span. Breathing through the bullet holes in JFK's ambulance, I stand as the last line of defense, divided against inner pride in a sense. Impaired, I fell asleep on the stairs and all my body parts turned into machines without gears. I disguise my talons in the form of hugs. My normal love is an opiate drug, so keep dreaming. I'm erratic and distant, lost in my gimmick, living in a house of hearts till diamonds cut us apart. I carried the umbrella when you didn't want to. These exercise rhyme demons will forever haunt you. I left the personal safe space of planet Earth months ago. Universally unappreciated verbal vertigo. Resources and possessions sink into my skin. Rare metals and minerals exist because we believe in them. I can never be kept in a pop lock genre. Too much of an above average Mike Savage who bet his last gambling chip on the Aztecs for the sake of hip hop madness. I'm so glad that it hurts. That's why I twisted the knife. Sometimes I have visions where I don't live through the night. It wasn't a discipline thing. It was the scarcity that scared me, but it's clear to see just exactly who was here with me. I'm an illusionist using music to convince human optics of my philanthropic values. Performing attitude with no warm-ups, my clavicles filled. Feeling like I'm swimming on Venus with gravity gills. No penchant for small talk. I left on a long walk, broke through a glass ceiling and came upon a tall wall. I can still see the chains out the sides of my eye. Free now, no more shadow boxing beatdowns delivered from the queen's crown. Emptied mind probe resulting in cloning my fault lines. Cracked deep beneath my self-pity. Selfishly helped me to an uncertain ascension. Misdirection, please look in the mirror. Fabricated lie schemes, dehydrated ego. Freeze-dried, then deep-fried. Clergy clean, surgery with beams. All issues appeared small till a near fall initiated my final destination. Hand over fist, the lost conversationalist stumbles over my brash invasiveness. A crystal black Bic pen tip with my laser grip. The feeling is straight amazement. Still I remain patient and buzzed, hanging above the entrance where tariffs are tangible. Persecuted by the cotton hand of the law. I wanted paradise, but the internet already claimed the land that I saw. Side scrolled through thoughts of creation, but the further I dug only led to a lonely displacement. If I seem evasive, it's because I'm constantly chasing. Never stop for a second to consider our past. We're adjacent, erasing the drawing board, configuring a star charter, tracking the evolution of the spawn. This isn't one of those things that merely denying will solve. I'm permanently parked in penultimate place, hide it from the sky if I'm not getting my way. Catch a recidivism relapse, fresh off the fatal fruited tree branch. Council was found constitutionally inadequate, but we don't really need that philosophical fallacy. We've provided a brief glimpse in ultraviolet, scarlet letters that spelled out dreamer. Eager and anxious, this relentless ascension must have sprung from an inhumane source of crash course of sorts, revolving door to a disassociated dystopia where hope is come and gone all over her stomach and bra. A common fallen angel syndrome spying on my lymph nodes. I heard that's where you skip stones. I delved deeper into the core casing and found the mainframe was cracked. I'm truly happy I found it than to pretend to ignore it, comfort it, embrace and explore it. I possess no backwards compatibility, so I only convene with the wise. Sometimes the only answer is the reduction of lives. I saw them with a crucifix stuck in my eye, completely corrosive. I envied the frivolous, but they yearn for my focus. My path is obscure but obvious, full of creatures peddling dust-ridden goblin crafts. I flawlessly perform the Heimlich on a live squid and treat existence as a simple sequence of events that I live. Empowered by my innocence, relentlessness, and penmanship, I found myself smack dab in some terminal relationships. Take your mixed dosages of overfocused attention, and when dementia sets in, we can surely connect again. Whether druid or droid, I stay fluid with noise. Synthetic beauty is scandalous. Photoshop in the camera lens. Spent most of my allowance assessing recent damages. Catch a live stream theme. Either people are active or inactive, and that is the reason for my theatrics. I spend enough time reclining on the shore of waters that are stagnant. I'm a lost driver chilling with hitchhikers. A hang glider with my fang saliva dripping on stick figures, and it's my fault. Stoic and stern like a freefall asteroid. Their luminescence feels like a lunar death sentence. One last gasp is all I'm getting. Weeping on the plants I try to generate fire from. Mummified ideas shoved back in the grave. Hate all song songs about back in the day. Laugh while I spay and neuter from behind the perceived safety of my stainless steel supercomputer, the mind ruler. How does one measure up? I want to trust the world, but faith isn't enough. Stay bombing the esophagus, always off topic. Truth be told, I'd rather be remote than revolt. Hanging from a red, white, and blue irrational rope, attached to the back of a hatred-filled catapult, distributing hacked data volts, a sad Catholic occult, a coincidental existence, a factory planet based off of fear and dual pistons. Golden parachute free from the canopy of the group mind insanity. Wherever I roam, a carbon impression is left. I've departed from normalcy with a heightened awareness, a vision to repair the cross-wired air vents. A broken arrow prone to scowl. The earth leaves perfect tracks exactly where the serpent slid. It seems symbolically trapped. Invade the covenant. Alienation from the government. Anti-supplement my diet with some peace and quiet. Violence breeds violence. Sprayed like territorial tigers. Drawn and quartered outsider. Vigilant citizen. Putting a nice twist on Hollywood images. TV test tube scrimmages. Relinquish hybrid hibernation. Observing the elite while the worthy are fading. They did it so blatant. Hidden in the most sacred of places. A daily repetition. The difference is cognitive dissonance. Obvious homage is paid to overzealous conglomerates. In the black Omnijet. Failed anatomy engineer student. I'd offer some advice, but you never listen to it. I reinforce my storm doors. Might have to go to court because I've adorned my horns. Always feared I'd devolve back to the law of averages. In the opium den, I stand by my songs even if they're macabre. I'm calculating a future, computing altruistic poetry algorithm, slipping under the penumbra. A ghost child in a world of wonder, entertaining the stages of age and committing adultery with my teens. Submerged, breathing through a bamboo shoot. Compound fracture of the eyes, ear, and frown. Check my manhood status permanently aroused. Through every Kool-Aid shade of blue that I've grown used to, I wade in emotions like stagnant waters produced to cleanse the soul, but nothing ever washes off. Revelry is my melody. Use telepathy to commune with your effigy. Trying to master my own language, but I'm non-communicative. Adult angst may seem like a reconfiguration, but I can't take it, so I vacated. And told stories around campfires till the smoke had us drowned. Crowned the joker of a forgotten king. Poison or bubbling in a pot with steam. To the prodigy I watch you sleep, hoping you become a part of me. No apology. Couldn't tell the difference between the light or a poltergeist, so I decided doing nothing with my life should suffice. I guess I wrote it all wrong from the start of the song. Plummeting down my path, no need to prolong. Wondering how we ended up so deep in the thorns. Not feeling remorse as I leave on my horse. Exploratory surgery recommended on the chessboard. I'm a swindler, a city-slicking genius, and a janitor. My happiness no longer comes from laughing at the amateurs inspecting hair follicles through rare monocles. The chronicles of ganja pulls rush to my robot skull. I've dreaded people on sedatives to get a semblance of sanity or end up completely cornered by my palpable vanity. The iris expands during problematic reality. A brand new machine with all the polished parts. Creation of the art that will abolish hearts. Acknowledge dark when it blinds you from the frontal. Disgruntled worker from the jungle, but I'm humble. Sleep deprivation, selection mechanism. Please excuse my skepticism, but I detect no vision, so there's no one here to rescue. Stepping through writer's block like a blind guy in a minefield. Suddenly I'm awake in a euphoric state, wishing I could sleep all day in a casket without being judged. I saw you at your weakest and I only wanted smiles. I see you at your strongest as you search for your denial. Confident and aware of the prowess of a victim, mixing subtle glances with the passion glass of wisdom. Desperate and nervous behind a newspaper, cheating on word searches. My hope purchased chips, so I swan dive off of it into a molten pit of salted sweat dreams. Descending towards the crevice, crisis, menace, devenom, and unarmed. Love charm placed upon rough palms. The skeleton is missing a tendon sewn through with a fabric of independence. The voices are endless as time suspend its bloodborne. Reverse my bones early in the morning when you're fast asleep. When would you like me to complete this masterpiece? Femme fatale via PayPal, set with being content, never relent, control the sequence. So prestigious, a cracked fraction. Imagine fragments that can never gain traction. An insane contraption, lost in a maze, homeless and stray. I desperately searched, arm wrestling words until your lips became an oasis. Perhaps even repelled the rain. Seldom slain, never burned by the dragon's flames. You dose me with psychological implants, embracing this disorder, case sensitive. It's all relative, unpenmanship. Life's a glitch. I've misunderstood every communication I've ever had. Those pointless clever jabs, anointed lubricated pleasure stabs. Approach me with unconventional kindness. It's the deaf leading the mute, prosecuted for attempted astute. Sometimes you gotta lace up them boots. Her eyes were suspiciously smooth like gears interlocking their grooves. It appears that I lose, I'm notably overmatched. My premonitions have sunken. I feel music pulsating while cultivating a fountain of freshness deemed unattainable with doubt in the reflection. Feline, sticky fur, instant blur, reduced to memory. Theoretically speaking, I'm a creature that's teething. Excel in the evening till I dispel all my demons. I'm semi-torn between softcore porn and a walk on thorns, holding hands with unicorns. Human hordes and natural warriors swinging swords. I carry karma in bottles like holy water. Deploy in a new dimension, change the mental complexion, thought comprehension. All the lonely people, but I don't want to talk. They look inside my eyes and I can see they're cyber-stalked. I quantified the fact that I'm hardly qualified. I'm watching them in case I'm forced to interlock with them, developing the best way to deprive myself of oxygen. The motive is reassurance through attention, but I'm not the vehicle to deliver your affection. Inconspicuous, substantial doubts stem from a lack of auxiliary. It's hard to build when you're living on the guillotine. Communicating daily with my past tense abilities. At last my soliloquy has unmasked infertility. I laugh with humility and all black like a villain scene, playing chess just to extract the queen. Fascinated with the exact way that I've been perceived. Illuminated the fact that we've been deceived. Some of us are musicians and some of us are war vets. I happen to be a gorgeous combo of both. In the red zone dead aiming at ghosts. A good soldier even had his name carved on his bolt. With the strategic tactics defeating Baghdad assassins. Stay bruising the passive in the up armored cruising by castles. Disappear from the surface, contemplate decadent embezzlement. So worried about the exit that I never made my entrance in. They whisper words that I wish I never heard. I create to penetrate the outer face of shutters and skull plates, mixing of the tensions, not to mention my depression gonna need a resurrection from the people measuring perfection. I could unwrap you to see what that soul is actually attached to, cut the ground wires reprogramming style. I can't blame you for avoiding the quicksand while slipping off the edge of an ice slab. Look what the octopus dragged in, stay in solitude like a leopard, be using energy while gasping to breathe. Everything in jeopardy, troops with a tireless freestyle dialect, the type of cat that only smiles during sex, with a top hat filled with peacock schnapps, insanity inferred, infrared, between the interpretations, sleeping in piles of cultural regurgitation, scarcely surviving by my skin on the beach. Rationale and compassion control the life that I need, smacking down the bad horse that bites when I feed. Depart to embark for more, drink from crack goblets, crafters of imagination, the factors of the faculty, drama price, actor in the tragedy, lost companionship, sunny days ruin my rain parade, courageously appraised language graciously with no thoughts of being paid to speak, studious lust or nuclear crush, further examination will never prove who it was, saviors that mock prey at the clouds gray, sound waves elevate me from the dark days, innovation is draining but I was groomed to be gifted, they wear similar costumes then pretend to be different, hell-bent on my mission to dispel history lessons, armed with the Wesson when I'm charging the fences, the archetype seduced them with my dream recall, from spring through fall I brawl with my integrity, frequently increasing my indecency, pretending my agenda is squeaky clean, wiping her fingerprints off the dashboard, on any given date in the land of give and take, memories misplaced when anger gets aimed, rearranger of friends, 6 degrees of mediation, setting fire to the hierarchy choir, lethargically mired behind my desires, the paralyzing state of mind combining hate dividing exemplifies the reason why my music hides from human eyes, sky's the limits but consequently still feeling confliction, caused by the prison of inner inhibition, nature naturally synthetic and I don't possess the energy to step up and correct it, but then again I'm reminded of the relevance of penning some intelligence and reaching new developments, for all your efforts you should be graciously compensated, photographic memory defames the rules of engagement, which helps immortalize the infamy, shroud lifted intellectual animal prowling grounds with howling sounds coming from my mask now, systematically disassembled my last glass house, laser sharp, a pyromaniac who plays his part, selling your image, pretending to be vintage, whisper mind control poems through ancient fish heads, misread the deliberate signals, rearranged the misprints till they all made sense, relaxation in the distance, I put my life on consignment with the right to be private, they pinned open my eyelids hoping for silence, became cloaked in my dialect, dialed in, wild vet still shedding my child skin, a beast plunging into piranha seas, judging man by loyalty and honesty, an odyssey who redefined logically as I conquer with my karma key, comically calmly, judge me lovely, cascade your composure, this is an outbreak, some are suicidal sober, honorably protect my dishonesty defense until I'm consciously convinced I can change my 7 cents, try to analyze your mind but I only caught a glimpse, I gotta stay accountable for my biological limbs, I won't impose my will, you're free to leave, underneath the first layer of holographic paint, Cupid's a crook, he steals freedom and tempts fate, this artist feels pressure to breathe, threatened by murder by sea, murder in 360 degrees of 10 miles of trees, trapped behind the confines of insecurity bars, past the shards of broken hourglass, marginal arbitrary attributes in the attitude of one man's ego view, eclipsed by the semi-attractive, I guess that's how people do.